26 Rarest and most valuable pennies worth money. Pennies are some of the world's most popular coins. They have a long history that dates back more than a century. Some are worth just their face value, 1 cent, and others would beat your imagination with just how much they have sold at auctions. An innocent-looking penny can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Just one coin. This phenomenon may surprise you, making you curious as to why anyone would pay that much for an old coin. Well, where an uninformed sees an old coin, an expert collector sees value. Some of the appeals are sentimental, while half of it is rooted in the condition of the coin. With coins in general and pennies in particular, it is never what you see on the surface. As the ones presented in the chart below and in the subsequent list will show, there's more to these pennies than meets the eye. Satisfy your curiosity by reading about 26 of the rarest and most valuable pennies. 1. Grade, MS66. Price, $105,800. In our opinion, the 1914 penny marked with the S on it because it was produced in the San Francisco Mint, is a rare penny. Although some experts do not consider the 4 million mintage as such, we do. It's been more than a century since this beautiful coin was minted. This is why this particular piece sold by Bowers/Marina in 2006 is an amazing one. It has been well preserved, featuring most of its luster. Pennies from this year, and in MS66 condition, are now extremely rare. 2. Grade, MS66. Price, $7,000. This is one of the most storied pennies in the history of pennies. The story behind its production makes it even more sentimental for many expert coin collectors. Unlike many peers, this penny has an initial from the designer, Victor David Brenner. But as the event happened, Brenner had his full name written on the coin sample design, but mint engraver Charles Barber changed it to what you have on the coin now, VDB. The backlash that followed in those years includes the accusation that Brenner took advantage of the coin for illegal advertising. At any rate, this 1909 coin is a beautiful specimen of what could happen if a coin is well preserved. This coin sold on eBay in 2022 for $7,000. 3. Grade, MS67 Plus. Price, $22,425. In the war year of 1944, the Denver Mint struck more than 430 million of this penny, making it anything but rare. So what makes this specimen special? It was struck on a steel planchet left over from the 1943 operation. Complaints led to the halting of steel pennies, and the mints would revert to the normal composition the following year. Still, collectors would pay top dollar for specimens of this rarity. This one was sold by Bowers/Marina in 2005. 4. Grade, MS64. Price, $126,500. There are fake 1969 double die pennies just in case you have an interest in them. Though the United States government has seized a couple of them in the past, there's no telling how far imitators are willing to go to make a novice lose money. This piece is an authentic one that was found in a roll containing 1969 cents by a collector named Michael Tremonti. Prices of these gems, 1969 double die, have since risen upon seeing that there are only a few of them in existence. This one sold on Heritage Auctions in 2008. 5. Grade, MS66. Price, $3,300. The auction firm, Stax, sold this rare Indian head penny in 1997 for $3,300. One of the factors that make this Indian head penny rare is that it had a low mintage, the lowest in the series. There are about 5,000 of this penny in existence, combining all grades. 6. Grade, MS65. Price, $149,500. 1926 coins of this grade are very rare. This is why this one is so valuable. Specimens like these 1926s were bought off the public in the 40s and 50s. This penny does not have any marks and comes with a high eye appeal. This one went on sale at Heritage Auctions in 2006 for $149,500. 7. Grade, MS-66. Price, $149,500. Of all the Indian head pennies, this is the rarest date. The coin came at a period when the country was experiencing an economic downturn. People were spending more than saving. The ones that were saved happened to be ones in uncirculated condition. This one was sold on Heritage Auctions in 2007. 8. Grade, PR65. Price, $161,000. This Indian head penny is called L on ribbon because the L, which is the initials of James Longacre, the designer of the coin, is placed on the ribbon behind the neck. Only 20 of these pennies were made, adding to the extreme rarity of it. What happens at auctions when rare pennies like this turn up is, collectors come in trying to win the sale at all costs. This one went on sale in 2011 at Heritage Auctions for $161,000. 9. Grade, MS-66. Price, $44,400. When this 1914 D coin came out, it was well accepted by the public and they hoarded them. Years later, by the 1930s, when numismatic organizations began to take note of this penny, most of the excellent grades became rare but circulated. Uncirculated specimens turn up sometimes though. In the 1970s there were examples found in the Pacific and New Zealand. This example sold in 2019 at Heritage Auctions for $44,400. 10. Grade, MS-66. Price, $172,500. This is one of the two Flying Eagle cents graded MS-66. It is the finest you will ever encounter. The 1856 cent was produced at a time when copper was too expensive to produce 1-cent coins. In a bid to reduce this cost, the mint had to first reduce the weight of the cents, then present the specimens, 800 of them, to Congress. This one here is one of those special coins made in that year. It was sold on Heritage Auctions for more than $172,000. 11. Grade, MS-63. Price, $504,000. Most old collectors would remember the 1943 Lincoln penny for the publicity it enjoyed in the 1940s when it was rumored that Henry Ford promised to reward with a car anyone who found the copper cent. This bronze cent is worth all the hype. It is one of the rarest coins in the history of U.S. coins. Only 6 of these cents have turned up over the decades of searching for them. This one sold on Heritage Auctions in 2020 for $500,000. 12. Grade, PR67. Price, $258,500. This is the only coin considered the finest of the lot among the 1909 VDB marked cents. This one is from John Story Jenks's collection. At the time this coin was sold, it was the highest paid for a proof cent. PCGS features other grades of the coin though none is like this specimen which sold for $258,500 in 2014 by Heritage Auctions. 13. Grade, 58 Australian dollars. Price, $282,000. This 1943 coin was struck on a bronze planchet instead of a zinc-plated steel one. It is an error coin and 6 of these are known to exist, all of them made in the San Francisco Mint. This is the second finest of the 1943 coins. It was sold by Heritage Auctions in 2016. 14. Grade, MS-64. Price, $336,000. The double-die Lincoln penny is a specimen from just 3 that are known to exist. There's a doubling in the word liberty, and in the motto "In God We Trust." It also shows some doubling in the date, particularly the number 8. This Lincoln cent with its doubling was unknown to collectors for years until the 1980s. This sample was sold at Stack's Bowers Galleries for $336,000 in 2018. 15. Grade, MS-66. Price, $408,000. This is the only steel cent from the San Francisco Mint that's been classified as the finest. It was the war period when this cent was made. The American war efforts required that metals, copper, and zinc, be directed into the manufacture of war materials. The mints had to improvise. They struck these coins by coating steel with a thin layer of zinc. The results were unpleasant. The rusted, grown mildews were magnetic. The vending machines wouldn't accept them. In the years that followed, the mints would have to stop using this composition. This one here sold for $208,000 in 2021 at Heritage Auctions. 16. Grade, MS64. Price, $1,700,000. The existence of this bronze cent was unknown until 1979. It is the only known cent to have been struck by mistake with a bronze planchet at the Denver Mint. It sold for $1.7 million by Legend Numismatics in New Jersey. The buyer was a businessman who chose to remain anonymous. Officials of PCGS estimate that there were less than 20 of these error coins from that mint. It is the most valuable cent in the world. And very rare too. 17. Grade, MS67. Price, $7,637. This cent is one of the most important error coins in the family of Lincoln pennies. The doubling is evident in the word liberty and in God we trust. The estimate says there are 250,000 of this coin floating around in people's pocket change. This one was sold in 2015 by Heritage Auctions. 18. Grade, MS69. Price, $3,001. This penny makes it to this list because it's an error coin. They don't turn up easily. And although this one isn't as valuable as the others on this list, it's only a matter of time. You will note doubling in the B in Liberty. There's more doubling in the date and we trust, but you have to look very closely to see it. This penny was sold in Heritage Auctions in 2021 for $3,001. 20. 19. Grade, MS67. Price, $1,260. The intention was to produce San Francisco coins with a wide AM in the word America to distinguish the pennies from that mint from others. The style ended up being used in the Philadelphia Mint too. These pennies are so rare only 12 have been graded MS67. 20. Grade, MS68. Price, $7,050. This is a double die reverse with a very evident doubling in the words United, and a fading in the word States. It appears from the perfect doubling of the words 1 cent, that the mint workers deliberately created this error. This coin is graded MS68. It was sold at Heritage Auctions in 2017. 21. Grade, MS66 plus. Price, $18,600. Graded 1931 wheat pennies of this luster are rare. This one represents one of the best specimens with a deep brown color like honey. There are pepper spots on the reverse that can be seen under a magnifier. Other than this one, there's been no other wheat penny from this year with the same condition. A buyer paid more than $18,000 for this specimen at Heritage Auctions. 22. Grade, MS67 plus. Price, $120,000. This is the most sought-after penny from the year 1917. Its type of double die is unlike any others. There's a doubling in the date and the letters of in God we trust. This 1917 wheat penny sold a whopping $120,000 at Stack's Bowers. 23. Grade, MS67. Price, $69,000. This wheat penny is a rare kind. It features a mix of colors in the middle and around the rim, orange red and yellow gold respectively. This penny is a semi-key date, a little difficult to obtain. This one was sold by Heritage Auctions for $69,000. 24. Grade, MS64. Price, $92,000. What makes this penny with Abraham Lincoln's image on the obverse rare is the lack of a mint mark. It was made in the Denver Mint and ought to have a D mark on the obverse. And it may have partly been because Denver was the only mint making pennies at the time. This here is a piece from a number of pennies made in a rush by the Denver Mint without a mark. Stack sold it for $92,000. 25. Grade, MS-65. Price, $114,000. A man named James Ruddy discovered the first 1955 double-die obverse. Later it was discovered that 40,000 pieces of the coin were struck at the mint. An inspector had noticed the error coins and destroyed them, but many more had already mixed with the bunch of coins, bagged and being sent out to the reserve. This coin here was one of the many that made it to the banks. Stack sold it for $114,000. 26. Grade, 50 Australian dollars. Price, $46,000. From the Second World War period comes this very interesting copper penny. The most distinguishing mark of this 1943 penny from others like it is the little error on the head of the image of Lincoln. It is a planchet void that happened when the coin was struck. Only 12 of these coins have been traced. This one was sold on Heritage Auctions in 2001 for $46,000. The history of the Lincoln penny. The life of every Lincoln penny began with the desire of the mint to create a coin with the image of the late Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. This was in January 1909, and this was a significant year because it was the centennial birthday of Lincoln. It became the most widely loved coin with a person's image on it. Though many felt that having Lincoln's image on the coin was monarchical, the mint would go ahead with the project, and the first coins touched the public's hands and hearts on August 2, 1909. The first few coins had the initials of the man who designed the penny, Victor David Brenner, VDB, on the obverse. Critics thought it was too much of an advertisement for the designer, so, in the days that followed, the initials were deleted. 1918 swung in and the initials of David Brenner were back on the penny again near Lincoln's shoulder, only this time they were smaller. The first cents or pennies were manufactured with 95% copper, but in 1943 war efforts made it crucial to make steel cents coated with zinc. When the expediency was no more, the mint reverted to the original composition until the year 1982, when once more inflation in metal products caused the mint to make pennies with more zinc than copper. In 1959 there was a change in the design of the reverse side of the penny. The engraver Frank Gasparo was contracted to make a new one for the sesquicentennial birthday of Lincoln. The new design featured the Lincoln Memorial Building. Since that time the penny has experienced more changes. The penny is a well-loved coin by the American public, mostly because of the image of Abraham Lincoln on it. Frequently asked questions. What penny should I keep? There are certain pennies you should definitely keep because collectors and experts love them and their value will continue to spike. 1995 Lincoln Memorial Cent Double Die Obverse. 1970 South Lincoln Memorial Center, small date, high 7. 1999 Lincoln Memorial Cent, close AM. 1984 Lincoln Memorial Cent, double die year. 1983 Lincoln Memorial Cent, double die reverse. If you find any of these years in your loose change, take a moment to examine them for the variety. Why is the 1999 penny worth so much? Pennies from 1999 can be worth as much as $4,500 if it has errors, especially the ones from the Philadelphia Mint. Check the reverse for an abnormally wide gap between A and M in the word America. That error makes the coin worth more. Final thoughts. The penny, any penny from any year and design, is perhaps America's most decorated and most loved coin. It is also the most popular. Once the word penny made it into day-to-day diction, the status of the coin itself achieved immortality. Every time you see a bunch of old pennies, you should breathe, then take your time to scrutinize the lot. You just might be Heritage Auctions' next big seller.